Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. We were in the last paragraph of the fifth Brahmana in the third chapter in the Bhashya. Now this is a big Bhashya. We have already covered most of it. Just to recap, so this is called the Kahola Brahmanam. Kahola is the one who is questioning, and he is also asking about this Sakshad Aparokshad Brahma, that which is Sakshat means, Bhashyakara says, Avyavahitat means there is nothing in between you and this Brahman. Okay. Because if you know anything else, there is in between some Indriya, Manas, etc. are involved. But Brahman is Sakshat. And Aparokshat means he takes it as Agaunam. That means it is the Mukhyam Brahma. So this again is about this Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma. What is this? Now, already this question was asked in the previous Brahmana also. Here also it is asked. And here Yajnavalkya is giving a different answer. He says, he reveals the Atma Swarupa as that which is free from hunger, thirst, etc. Correct? So Atma is not subjected to the Shad Bhava Vikara. Atma is not something which is subjected to hunger, thirst, etc. All these things are not Atma Dharma, in fact. And this Atma is Sarvantaraha also. It is the Atma of everything, everybody, every being. Then having known this Atma, Etam vai tam Atmanam viditva, having known this Atma, Brahmanaha, the Brahmanas, they give up the desire for putra, for wealth, for different lokas, correct? They give up all these things, they rise above all these desires and then go for Bhikshacharya. Bhikshacharyam charanti means Bhikshacharya is a Upalakshana here for Parivrajya or Sannyasa lifestyle. And this portion only the big Bhashya we saw. Okay, this Bhikshacharyam charanti, Bhashyakara is taking it as a Sannyasa Vidhi, the Vidvat Sannyasa Vidhi. And again in Sannyasa, giving up all the different lingas, etc. This sannyasi is only like begging for food, correct? That is the kind of lifestyle which is talked about. Here also there were some objections raised by the Purva Pakshi. All that Bhashyakara answered. Okay, so finally he established that this Bhikshacharyam charanti, even though it is lat lakara, correct? It is in actually present tense. But still in the Vedic Sanskrit, even lat can be taken as a vidhi in some cases. So Bhashyakara is taking this as a vidhi only because he is connecting it with other things also. Because etam atmanam viditva is there. For this knowing, there is a vidhi, correct? There is a this Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, Atma va are drashtavyaha, shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. Like that, the tavya pratyaya is already there. And viditva is associated with tavya, means Bhikshacharyam also has to be associated with that. Like that, there is an argument is there. Samana Kartrika is there. And therefore, this is a vidhi. This is what Bhashyakara is arguing. And then this Brahmana, the one who knows Brahman, means how does he know that? Pandityam Nirvidya. Means Panda means Atma Jnanam only. This word Panda is used even in Bhagavad Gita, correct? Ashocyan anvashochastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gatasuna gatashumscha nanushocanti panditaha. That's how Gita, the actual Gita teaching starts with this verse. So the Pandita, there also Bhashyakara takes the meaning of Pandita as Atma Jnani only. Here also Pandityam means it is the knowledge which is there by doing Shravana of the Shruti. Through Guru, you have done complete Shravana. Nirvidya means Nishesham Vedya means you have done Shravana. There is nothing to be, nothing left. Okay, you have done complete Shravanam and you are clear about what Shruti is revealing about yourself. So the Shruti is showing that you are Brahman, you are the limitless conscious being. That is very clear to you, what the Shruti is revealing. But still what? It can still be a Paroksha Jnanam, correct? Because it can be what my Guru is saying. My Guru is saying this, Shruti is saying this. Means it is not your knowledge yet. Even though you are very clear about what your Guru and Shruti are all saying, it has to become your vision, your knowledge. That's what is called Balyena Tishta Set is the next. So here Pandityam, Balyam, Maunam, like these three words are used, which again correspond to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana only. Okay, so the progression of the knower of Brahman is shown here again. First you have to completely know what the Shruti is revealing, and then you have to be established in that, correct, that knowledge. That is Balyena Tishtase. Balasya Bhava is what Bhashyakara takes here, Balya. Or Balya can be taken as Balasya Bhava also. So it can be like childlike, means you don't have any ego or you are very innocent, correct? Like a child means basically Ragadvesha and ego are all not there. Or Bala is taken here, actually here Bala only is taking, Balasya Bhavaha means you have the strength of knowledge, means you are established in that knowledge alone, and that is your strength. And then so completely knowing this, then Munihi, Atha Munihi means Muni, you become a yogi, you become a Muni, means you do not think of anything other than this Atma. Even your mind, you are only focusing on this Atma Jnanam alone. Such a person is Muni, and that Bhava is called Maunam. And again, the Shruti, the Upanishad itself is using Amaunancha, Maunancha. Amaunam means this Pandityam and Balyam are called Amaunam, or Shravana Manana is called that which is not Mauna. And Maunam is Munehe Bhavam, which is talking about being a Muni, means you are doing Nididhyasanam. You are only focusing on this Atma Jnanam. So by all these three things, Amaunam and Maunam, both Nirvidya, Atha Brahmanaha. Brahmanaha here is Brahmavit. So one becomes a Brahmavit. So this is the portion now we are looking at in the Bhashya. Okay. And then that Brahmana, how he is, here Kahola is again asking, this the Brahmavit, Kena Syat means how does he live? Means here Yajnavalkya gives a very interesting answer. He says, in whichever way he lives, he is a Brahmajnani. That's all. Okay. So he says, Yena Syat, Tena Idrishaha, Etavataha, Anyadartham. So he says, whichever way he lives, he is a Brahmajnani. Means he is beyond Vidhi and Nishedha. And in fact, Bhashyakara will give a note here also. We will see that. And everything other than this is Artham, means it's all Vinashi, perishable. Or even you can say Artha can also be taken as a Dukkha Karana, that which gives you Arti. Because Artha Bhakta and all we talk about even in Gita, correct? Artha means one who is afflicted or one who is in distress. So this everything other than Brahman, this Atma Swarupa is all only Dukkha Karanam. It's all Artha, it is all perishable, it is all Dukkha Karana. And therefore what? It is all Mithya also. It does not really exist in fact. All these meanings we can give for Artham. Etavataha Anyadartham. This is actually quoted by Bhashyakara also in many other places. This is a very highly quoted portion, etavad anyadartham. And after that, this Kahola, who is Kaushitakeya. Kaushitakeya means he is from the Kaushitaki. You can say is a Kaushitikasya apatyam. Okay, tasya apatyam. He is the son of Kaushitaka or Kushitakaha also we can say. Kushitakasya apatyam Kaushitakaha. And he became silent. So now here all this big Bhashya is basically about establishing the sannyasa vidhi. And then here also we already saw this portion, I think. So basically Bhashyakara here says this Brahmanaha even before they rose above all these desires, correct? Which are in the form of sadhana and pala. Sadhana pala swarupat eshana lakshanat yuddhaya. So having gone beyond all these desires which are in the form of means and ends, and they took to bhikshacharya. Similarly, even now, those who are knowers of Brahman have to do the same thing, correct? Whatever they did. So what is that? Drishtartham karma, tat sadhanancha hitva. So giving up all the karma and karma phala, correct? Which can either be the karma phala itself, can be drishta phala, adrishta phala. Whichever it is, you are not interested in all that. So they did that. Therefore what? Tasmat adyatvepi, even now, the Brahma with Brahmanaha, they all do the same thing. And how do they do that? By first doing Shravanam. Without doing Shravanam and understanding what Shruti is revealing about this Atma, you cannot go beyond all these desires for worldly things, desires for objects, accumulating different things. So all this, if you have to give up, for giving it up, you should have a certain change in your attitude, in what you are really looking for. So for that also you have to do Shravanam. In Shravanam only the Mundaka Upanishad and all clearly says, correct? That Pariksha Lokan Karma Chitan Nasti Akritaha Kritena. All this the Mundaka Upanishad also talks about it. Different Upanishads are talking about how everything which you can achieve, including Brahmaloka, it is all only limited. And to gain the limitless, you have to know yourself. Means you have to then do Shravanam. That is the Pandityam. Pandityam means Bhashyakara, Pandita Bhavam. Etad Atma Vijnanam Pandityam. So Atma Vijnanam is the Panditya here. Whatever is called as Panditya. And Tat Nirvidya means knowing that how Nishesham Viditva. Nishesham means without leaving any Shesha, without leaving anything Baki, correct? You have known whatever is there in the Veda completely about this, in fact, with reference to this subject matter. The Atma Vidya portion of the Vedanta, you have completely known. And that's what he says again. Atma Vijnanam Niravashesham Kritva. So you have known this completely. Whatever is revealed by the Shruti is clear to you. And how did you know that? Did you go and buy some paperback and study? Nowadays, in fact, you can go to YouTube also and listen. But anyway, so here Bhashyakara makes it clear. He says, Acharyataha agamatascha yeshanabhyaha vyuthaya. So this Niravashesham Kritva means basically you have studied it completely from the Acharya and the Veda Agamataha. And having done that, what? You have given up the desire for these Putra Ishana, Vitta Ishana, Lokeshana and all that, correct? The Ishana for the means and ends. The desire for means and ends, giving up completely. And why it is said like that? Bhashyakara gives a note here. He says, Yeshana Vyutthanam Vyutthana Avasanam Evahi Tat Pandityam. So the Pandityam, if you have known properly what the Veda says, then only you can give up the desire for worldly achievements, desire for different means and ends. Because being a mumukshu and being a jijnasu further, Now you are only interested in knowing the limitless Atma. Everything else is limited, anitya. So you have a certain idea about this nitya, nitya, vastu, viveka is there, and also some vairagya is there. Okay. So yeshana, vithana, avasanam means this. When you study the Veda properly, when you do Shravanam, in fact, we can even take it in one way here. This is a very interesting note in the sense that how do you know somebody has done proper Shravanam? Means if somebody has done proper Shravanam, if somebody is to be considered as a student of Vedanta, correct, as a Mumukshu Jijnasu, means he has to have given up all desires for limited things, all desires for means and ends, correct? Sadhana and Phala Swarupa, whatever is there, sadhana sadhya, means and ends, you have to give up, you have to go beyond that, you have to rise above the desires for all these limited things. Then only you have done proper Shravanam. The Shravanam has to lead you there. Bhashyakara says, Yeshana Vithyana Avasanam. It has to end by you giving up desires for all limited things. Then only you have done proper Shravana. Otherwise, you don't even understand what the Veda is really revealing. Okay, so if you have understood what the Veda is really revealing about you, you can no more have desires for limited things. That is the corollary of what Bhashyakara is saying. And in fact, he says that very clearly here. Yeshana tiraskarana udbhavatvat, yeshana viruddhatvat, he says. So why does he say this? Because this pandityam, this panda, this knowledge itself can rise only by the elimination of all these desires for means and ends, because this knowledge is opposed or contradictory to the desires for limited things. Okay. So yeshana viruddha also, it is also yeshana tiraskarana udbhavatvat. Only by the elimination of all these yeshanas, this jnanam you can have. And he further explains that yeshanam atiraskritya nahi atma vishayasya pandityasya udbhavaha iti atma jnanena eva vihitam yeshana vyutthanam atma jnana samana kartrika tva pratyaya upadana linga shrutya dridhikritam. Okay, so further he says, Yeshanam atiraskritya nahi atma vikshayasya pandityasya udbhavaha iti. Because what? Without eliminating these desires, Yeshana, this jnanam, okay, panditya with reference to the Atma, oneself cannot rise. It cannot come. This knowledge cannot be there unless you have given up the desires for all the limited means and ends. Therefore, what Atma Jnanena eva, through this Atma Jnana only what? Vihitam Yeshana Vithanam. So whatever Yeshana Vithana the Shruti is talking about, it is also Vihita. Bhashyakara is saying, because Vithaya, like this it continues, correct? Having given up the desires for all these things, because what? Viditva, having known and giving up these things, then you do Bhikshacharya, like that. Three things are there, correct? So having known, only you can give up all these things, and these two things are happening together, and that he is pointing it out again. Okay, he says, why? Because Atma Jnana Samana Kartrika Twa Pratyaya, Iktvach is the Pratyaya, because Viditva, it is ending with Twa, correct? Having known or knowing something, you are also giving up the desires and then taking up a lifestyle of Bhikshacharya. All three are by the same person, and this Twa Pratyaya is used. So Twa Pratyaya Upadana Linga Shrutya. So the Twa Pratyaya is indicatory. It is also indicating something. What is this Twa Pratyaya indicating? That it is indicating that you have to have this Atma Jnanam first. Then only you can give up all the desires. And that is being Dridhikritam means what? That is being said very strongly here. Okay, it is firmly said, you can say. So this way, this is very clear. First, you have to do Shravanam, and if you have done proper Shravanam and you are a Mumukshu Jignasu means you cannot anymore have desires for all these limited things. Therefore, tasmat yeshanabhyaha vyuthaya jnana bala bhavena balyena tishtase statumicchet. So further what? Having done Shravana, what do you do now means you now be established in that knowledge. It is, you know what the Guru or Shruti is saying, but it has to become your knowledge. Okay, and then only you can gain strength from that knowledge. So having given up rising above all these desires, you be established in the strength of this knowledge alone. Jnana bala bhavena balyena. So balya here is jnana bala bhava. It is the strength of knowledge. Why do we say it is strength of knowledge? So Bhashyakara now compares and contrasts an avidwan with a vidwan and shows why for the vidwan, Atma Jnana alone is balam. Because Atma Jnana is showing yourself as the limitless conscious being limitless. It is all strength also, correct? There is no question of any limitation or weakness. So that is the real strength. So you have to be established in that. And he explains that for others what? Sadhana phala ashrayam hi balam, he says. So for others, the sadhana phala ashrayam means they're taking recourse to means and ends alone is their strength. Because you want to go to some loka means you have to produce lot of punya, correct? That punya alone will take you there and all that, and they think that is their strength or that is what they really want, correct? So itaresham anatma vidam sadhana phala ashrayam hi balam. So for the anatma with they are always behind all this sadhana and phala, and depending on how many sadhanas and phala you have accumulated, that is your strength, because you are only interested in karma phala. The more means and the more results of action you have, the more strong you are. But the mumukshu jignasu, the one who has shravanam, is only interested in being established in this knowledge. The knowledge itself is the strength, correct? Tishta says statu michet. The Upanishad itself says you desire to be established only in this knowledge without worrying about any sadhana or phala. So Bhashyakara also says that tad balam hitva. So the sadhana phala ashrayanam, correct? Which is the bala for others, you give up that. Tad balam hitva vidwan, the one who is a jnani. Asadhana phala swarupa atma vijnanameva balam. So for this person, atma vijnanam alone is balam. This atma vijnanam is different from the means and ends based karma phalas, correct? So it is asadhana phala swarupa. It is not a sadhana, it is not a phala, it is not a karma phala, it is not a karma sadhana. It is yourself, in fact, it is already accomplished. That is the beauty. So that alone is your strength now. Atma vijnanameva balam, tad bhavameva kevalam ashrayet. So you now take refuge in that strength alone. This Atma vijnanam alone is your bala, is your strength. You are not anymore interested in the sadhana and phala swarupa karma. Okay. Therefore, what tad ashrayane hi karanani yeshana vishaye yenam hritva sthapayitum na utsahante. So only when you take refuge like that, okay, tad ashrayane hi. What karanani? Otherwise, see, normally the karanas, the instruments means here all the indriya and manas. What is their natural tendency? They go after the sense objects. Okay. So you are interested only in gratifying your senses, going after the sense objects. Now that is all yeshana vishaya, correct? That is again, where do your senses take you? To the things you desire, even in the sense objects. But once you have taken refuge in this Atma Jnanam, these Karanas cannot take you away from this Atma Jnanam and take you into the sense objects. So that's what he's saying. Karanani Yeshana Vishaye Yenam Hritva Stapayitum Na Utsahante, he says. They do not have the strength anymore to push your senses and make you go after sense objects, it cannot do, it cannot take you away. Enam means this, Enam is the person who is the knower here, correct? The one who has this balam, the Pandita. So only when you take Ashraya in this Atma Jnanam, you can be free from all this sensory pursuits. They do not have any more power over you to take you away from this Atma, which is limitless anyway. So he explains that what jnana balahinam hi mudham drishta drishta vishayayam yeshanayam eva enam karanani niyojayanti. So those who do not have this jnana bala, correct? Jnana balahinam, okay? And those who are mudas, those who are deluded, they do not have any atma anatma viveka, they do not have any vairagya. And such people, what they are having desires for drishta and adrishta vishaya. So seen, unseen. Basically, punya is adrishta, and everything else, whatever you can see here and enjoy here in this world, is all drishta phala. They are having desires only for these things, and therefore your instruments, your sense objects and mind, they are all only going after that. They are connected only to that. Okay, karanani niyojayanti. The karanas will take you to all these things, these sense objects. But those who have balam, the atma vidya balam, correct? So balam nama atma vidyaya ashesha vishaya drishti tiraskaranam. So what do we call as balam here is, it is due to atma vidya. This all the other vishayas, correct, other than atma, you don't even see them. They are all mithya anyway. They do not have any reality for you. They are as good as eliminated. They are not even there. So ashesha vishaya drishti tiraskaranam means what? You do not see all the objects as separate objects to be achieved, to accumulate or anything like that, to attain. There is nothing to be attained. There is nothing separate from you. In fact, you are the limitless. So what is there other than you for you to achieve? It is all meaningless, correct? So you do not even see anything as separate from yourself. Therefore, there is nothing separate which you need to obtain or attain or gain. So that is the vision you have due to this Atma Vidya, seeing Atma as everything, correct? Tat sarvam abhavate, it says. So aham brahmasmi tasmat tat sarvam abhavatu. Once you are everything, there is nothing other than yourself. Therefore, you do not even see anything different from yourself. All the things other than yourself are all eliminated. They are not there. Therefore, what? Ataha tadbhavena balyena tishtase. Therefore, sit with this knowledge. Be established in this knowledge. Okay. And that is said in other Upanishads also. Bhashyakara is quoting here. Tatha atmana vindate viryam iti shrutyantara. This is Kena Upanishad. In fact, this is one of my most favorite vakyas. Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. This is a very, very beautiful vakya in the Kena Upanishad. So this Atma is known in each and every cognition, correct? Pratibodha viditam matam. Because it is the invariable in each and every cognition. The object of knowledge keeps on changing. There are different objects of knowledge in every cognition, but the cognizer, the consciousness, is the invariable, and that is you. In fact, that alone is Satyam. Everything else is Mithya. So once you understand that what Amritatvam hi vindate, that is immortality, because you are the limitless conscious being, not even subjected to space-time. Therefore, you are immortal. And this knowledge alone is strength. Atmana vindate viryam. By being established in this knowledge only, that is the strength. That is the real strength. That is limitless strength, in fact. And because of that Atma Jnanam alone, Amritam also. Vidyaya vindate Amritatvam. Like this Kena Upanishad Vakya is there. And also the Mundaka negatively it says, Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhyaha. So this Atma cannot be gained by one who is weak. Weak in the sense here is one who does not have this knowledge, the strength of this knowledge, one who is taken away by his sense objects and mind towards, sense organs and mind towards the sense objects, towards objects of his desire. Such a person who is weak, who does not have this knowledge, that person cannot gain this Atma Jnanam, this Atma itself. So these are all there in different Upanishads. Okay, further what Upanishad itself says, Balyancha Pandityamcha, like this we saw that. Nirvidya. So Nirvidya, again these two, Nishesham Kritva, completely you have known whatever is said in the Shruti, and also you are established in that, fully in that knowledge. Being that what? Nishesham Kritva, Atha Mananat Munihi Yogi Bhavati, therefore what? You become a Muni. Because you did Manana, you have done so much contemplation in making this knowledge firm, correct? You have this knowledge, very clear and firm knowledge you have, you are established in that knowledge, means you are a yogi, you are a Muni, Manana Shilaha. Muni means Manana Shilaha, one who is given to a contemplative disposition is called a Muni. So you have done a lot of contemplation, Dhyanam, you can say, Nididhyasanam, also will come now. So the third part, Mauna. So then be in that only, that knowledge alone you have to be established in continuously. So Mananat Munihi Yogi Bhavati Etavadhi Brahmanena Kartavyam. This is what is to be done by a Brahmanena. Here means the Brahmavit. Okay, by the Brahmavit, this alone has to be done. You know whatever is there in the Shruti, and then you make that knowledge firm, you make that knowledge yourself, and then you only remain in that knowledge alone, that pravaha. Also the mind also, you then engage only in this particular sajatiya vritti pravaha only. So with reference to this Atma Jnanam only, your mind also is always thinking, other things are anyway not interesting to you. Therefore, these are the three things should be done by a Brahmana. Okay, Yeduta Sarva Anatma Pratyaya Tiraskaranam Etat Kritva Kritakrityaha Yogi Bhavati. So, in this way, what? Sarva Anatma Pratyaya Tiraskaranam is there. Means you have now given up all Anatma Pratyaya. This is what I said. Once you have clear knowledge, once you have firm knowledge, it is your knowledge, still you have to be established in that knowledge. That knowledge should be always available to you. It has to be natural to you, sahaja. Therefore, what? Give up all the Anatma Pratyaya. Even mind need not think about other things. Our mind should not think there is anything other than me. Whatever you think is only you, correct? This is all Atma alone. There is nothing other than Atma. That is the thing here. So you eliminate all Anatma even in your thinking and only rest in this Atma Pratyaya. And being such a person, what? You are Krita Krityaha, means what? You have done everything which is to be done. Means you are no more interested in any karma phala itself. It is as though you have achieved all your desires. So Oshnute Sarvan Kamaan Saha, like this Taitriya also says. So this Atma Jnani, Brahma Jnani has as though achieved all the desires. Sarvan Kaman Ashnuta. So you are a Krita Krityaha. You are the one who has done everything that needs to be done. Okay, you don't need to do anything more to be happy, or you don't have any other duties, nothing else to be done. You are a yogi, Krita Krityaha, yogi bhavati. Yogi here is Jnani. And further Upanishad says, Amaunancha, Amaunam word, that which is other than Maunam, here which is Pandityam and Balyam. So Atma Jnana, Anatma Pratyaya Tiraskarau. So Atma Jnana is Pandityam and Anatma Pratyaya Tiraskara is the Balya. because you give up all the anatma pratyaya and only be established in this atma jnanam, and that is what again he is explaining himself. Panditya Balya Sagnya Kau, which is named as Panditya and Balya in this particular Upanishad. Nishesham Kritva, completely doing this, what? These two things. Maunam Nama, having completely doing this, what then? Maunam Nama Anatma Pratyaya Tiraskaranasya Paryavasanam Phalam. So, in Maunam means what? You have completely given up all Anatma Pratyaya and only you are just established in the Atma Pratyaya. This Akhanda Advitiya Vastu, that alone is your very nature. This jnanam never leaves you. It is sahaja for you. It is your very nature. That means the self-transformation is complete. You no more take yourself as a limited individual. You are Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi is natural. That self-transformation has happened means you are in Maunam, which is Munehe Bhavam is Maunam. So Maunam Nama Anatma Pratyaya Tiraskaranasya Paryavasanam means what? It is the ending. This Anatma, because Balya itself is making effort towards Anatma Pratyaya Tiraskarana. Once that is achieved, then the final state after achieving that is Maunam. You have now Maunam. You are in Maunam. That is the Phala. That is the Atma Jnana Phalam you are enjoying. And Tacha Nirvidya. So having known or having completely done all these three things, what? Atha Brahmanaha Kritakrityaha Bhavati. Then you become a Brahmana, Brahmavit, one who has achieved whatever is to be achieved. All that is to be achieved, you have achieved. Kritakrityaha Bhavati. Brahmaiva Sarvam iti Pratyaha Upajayate. So now you know that everything is Brahman alone and Aham Brahmasmi. That Brahman is myself, nothing. It's not separate from myself. So I am everything. That Pratyaya is there always without any. So this is the Vakya here. Then so here Sab Brahmanaha Kritakrityaha Ataha Brahmanaha. So Bhashyakara says this Brahmana, why he is a Brahmana? Because he is Kritakrityaha, he is achieved everything that is to be achieved, he is a Brahmavit. And such a person alone is really a Brahmana. So nir upacharitam hi tada tasya brahmanyam praptam ataha aha sab brahmanaha. So here Brahmana, the Shruti is using the word for the Brahmavit, and Brahmavit alone can be really called as Brahmana. Okay, literally the word Brahmana means only Brahmavit. Every other usage of Brahmana with reference to a jati and all that is only Gauna. It is all only figurative usage. Literally, really the meaning of Brahmana, Nir Upacharitam. It is what? It is this Brahmanyam only. This Brahmavit. This knowledge of Brahman alone gives you Brahmanyam. This Brahminhood, you can say. All others usage of this word is all only figurative. This is the Mukhya usage. The main usage are literal usage. Therefore, Ataha Aha Sab Brahmana Kena Syat Kena Charanena Bhavet. So this Kahola is now questioning how does he conduct himself? How is he? So even Arjuna also asked this question, correct? Sita Prajnasya Kabhasha Samadhistasya Keshava Sitadih Kim Prabhasheta Kimasita Vrajeta Kim. So how does he talk? Okay, how does he sit? How does he go? All these things he is asking Arjuna. Similarly here, how does this person conduct himself? This Brahmajnani means. Here, there Bhagavan gives a big answer in the Gita 2nd chapter. But here Yajnavalkya gives an interesting answer, which is like a praise of the Jnani. He says, whatever is maybe his contact. Okay, yena syat, yena charanena bhavet, whatever may be his conduct. Tena idrishaha eva ayam. By that also, what he is always a Brahmajnani only. He is like this only. Whatever may be his conduct, he is still a Brahmajnani because he has known this Brahmajnanam. He has known this Brahman as Atma, and that will reflect in the conduct also automatically. Okay, there is no vidhi or nisheda. The jnani is beyond all vidhi nisheda. So it is a praise for the Brahma Vidya and the jnani. Tena idrisha eva ayam yena kenachit charanena syat. So whatever may be his conduct, kenachit charanena, whatever may be the conduct, tena idrishaha eva means what? Ukta lakshanaha eva brahmanaha bhavati. This person is always a Brahmavid, a jnani only. Whatever may be his conduct, he is a jnani. That means what? You cannot say, in another way also you can look at this, because for a jnani you cannot say that only if he does some miracles, he is a jnani. No. Jnani may still do miracles and all that, or may not do miracle, or even teaching itself is the greatest miracle, correct? More than any miracle, if the person who is teaching you alone is really doing the miracle, because he is also making you into another jnani, correct? There is no bigger miracle than that. Every other miracle, you are still the same individual only. Even if somebody cured you of some disease and all that, what? How long you are going to live? It doesn't. So somebody has done some miracle, fine. If you are still a samsari, what is the big deal? It's only a question of few more years, correct? So the greatest miracle is if the jnani teaches you. And if the person teaches you, you know whether he really knows or not also. So, but anyway, the point here is there is no particular characteristic or anything to say that this jnani will walk like this or will have a big beard. You cannot give any lakshana like that. Jnani can be well shaven, can be with a big beard also. It can be anything, correct? So like that we can take, or it is like the jnani is beyond vidhi and nisheda. There is nothing, there is no rules. Jnani is beyond all rules. But Bhashyakara gives a note here. Okay, so he says, Yena kenachit charanena iti stutyartham. So he makes it clear. This is only for stuti of the jnani and Brahma Vidya. So yeyam Brahmanya avastha seyam stuyate. So the Brahmanya avastha, the state of being the Brahmajnani, that is being praised here. Natu charane anadaraha. It is not for saying that anybody can behave in any way and then claim I am a jnani. This is another danger, correct? People do yateshta acharana. Whatever they desire, they do. And then say, no, I am a jnani. I can do anything. It's not for that purpose. In fact, a jnani also must have been a karma yogi, must have already lived a life of dharma, and that should continue anyway. There is no way that after becoming jnani suddenly you cannot become an adharmi or anything. Understand that. In fact, the jnana itself will only guide you towards dharma acharana only. It cannot be any way else, any other way, I think. Okay. So already you are doing dharma. According to dharma only you are behaving. Your behavior cannot change just because you have become a jnani. It will continue as it was. This is only to show that there is no vidhi nisheda for you. That's it. This is a praise for that jnana nishta. It should not be taken as a license for some licentious behavior or anything like that. Okay. So Bhashyakara puts that note here. Natu charane anadaraha, he says. Okay. Ataha etasmat brahmanya avasthanat ashanayadi atita atma swarupat nitya triptat anyat. So therefore what? Anything other than this brahmanya avastha. Brahmanya avastha is this state of being the limitless conscious being, which is free from hunger and thirst, etc. Ashanayadi atita. and which is nothing but your own Swarupa, correct? It's nothing but yourself. And here you are having complete contentment also, Nitya Tripta. So all things other than this Atma Swarupa is what avidya vishayam, yeshana lakshanam, vastuantaram. So they are all avidya vishaya, and they are characterized by desires for limited things, and they are other things, they are objects other than oneself, vastuantaram. They are all artam. What is the nature of all the things other than Atma? They are all artam, means vinashi. Or it can be arti parigritam also. Parigrihitam, Bhashyakara says. In fact, Bhashyakara gives three meanings here for artam, as I told you already. One is vinashi. They are perishable. And arti parigritam means what? Parigrihitam means what? They are all filled with only dukkha, affliction, distress. Okay, they are the source of distress. And also what? They are all not real. Swapna, Maya, Marich, Udaka Samam, Asaram. They don't have any being of themselves. Asaram means they don't have an existent, independent existence. They are like only dream or Maya. Maya here is magic or some illusion, correct? Or like Marich, Udaka. It is like mirage water. In mirage water, there is no real water there. It only appears. So it's all only appearance without any existence of its own, asaram. There is no essence, substance. So anything other than this Atma is mithya. And therefore what? Atmaiva ekaha kevalaha nitya muktaha iti. So this Atma alone is nitya mukta. It is always free. In fact, that's why it is accomplishing the accomplished. It is already the limitless conscious being, and now you have known that, and you are that. That's it. After this, what? Tataha, ha, kaholaha, kaushitakeyaha, upararama. So after this, what? Kahola kept silent. And next, what? Sixth Brahmana is called Gargi Brahmana. Gargi, Brahmavadini Gargi. So Gargi is another very famous lady in Brhadaranyaka. Already we saw Maitreyi, correct? Maitreyi Brahmanam we saw before. Maitreyi is the wife of Yajnavalkya, but here Gargi is not the wife of Yajnavalkya. She is a lady, she is a Brahmavadini, one who is interested in this, knowing this Brahman, and Vachaknavi. So she is the daughter here, correct? Vachaknavi. So she is the daughter of Vachaknu. So this Gargi is going to question Yajnavalkya next. And this is mainly about the Sarvantaraha. Yes, Sakshad, Aparokshad, Brahma. Yes, Sarvantaraha, like this. 2 times it was repeated, correct? Ya Atma Sarvantaraha. Now to explain, or the questions are about how this Atma is Sarvantaraha. To establish this only, in fact, next 3 Brahmanas are about this only. Because this Antara word means inside, you can say. But this inside itself, in Vedanta, the word inside is used differently. Okay, or it should be actually considered as inner essence or something like that, or the substance. Because if you say, I am inside this room, means I am there inside the room, Antaraha. I am an independent entity, room is an independent entity. Or milk is there in the flask. Milk is an independent entity, flask is an independent entity, although milk is there in the flask, inside. In fact, you can empty the flask, flask will be there separately. Milk can be still there outside the flask also, it need not be only inside the flask. So 2 different entities, independent entities, one can be there within the other. We are not talking about that inside here. The Antaraha here is more like what is inside the pot? Let me ask. Means it is clay, correct? What is the pot? What is the essence of pot? What is it made up of? What is this? What is the one which gives existence? The very existence of the pot is given to it by the clay. Similarly, the cloth, only the yarn is there, correct? Really, yarns are the one which give the warp and the woof, we say, correct? The yarn which runs lengthwise is called warp. That which goes across, it will go like this. If you have seen how they do the weaving, in fact, that will come here. Otascha, protascha, warp and woof is used to show that what pervades whatever you are seeing. We see a pot, but pot is completely pervaded by clay. And clay itself is pervaded by molecules. Molecules are pervaded by atom. Like this, you can go on. Correct? Something like that only the analysis is done here to understand how this Atma is Sarvantaraha, which is the one which is inside everything, means what? Which pervades everything, all pervading, limitless Atma. To understand that only, these next Brahmanas are all starting from 6th onwards, and we will see that next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.